Hey guys, it's Trina and this is my end of year check-in with my reading goals for the whole year of 2017. I had 6 goals that I set for myself this year and let's just run through those really quickly and see if I completed them or not. Goal number 1 was to read more adult books, and the wording for most of these goals was read more blank. And by more, I just mean more in number than I did the previous year. So like if I read 20 of some type of book in 2016, I wanted to read 21 at least this year, you know, to beat whatever I was trying to beat. So read more adult books. I needed to read 22 adult novels to have read more than the previous year, and I only read 18. But if you look at statistically, I read fewer books in total this year than I did in 2016, so the percentage is actually higher. Maybe this counts? I don't know. You know, if you look at it by percentage, I did beat my percentage of adult books read overall. I don't know if I want to count this because my percentage was still at like 22 something percent overall were adult books, and I would like to have that at least 25%. So although maybe technically I did beat this goal, I'm still not really satisfied with where my numbers are, so I'm just gonna count it as not checked off. Goal number 2 was to read more own voices books, and I still sometimes get asked what is own voices, and it means the book has a main character that shares the same identity or marginalization as the author, which means that the author is writing from a place of experience. So like if a black lesbian woman writes about a black lesbian character, that is own voices because she has the experience to hopefully put that in the book and not really like misrepresent it. So I wanted to read at least 14 own voices books this year to beat 2016's amount, and I did beat that, but then I quit counting, so I'm not exactly sure how many own voices books I read this year. It was several more than my goal of 14, so that is definitely a goal that I met and beat. Goal 3 was to read more debut novels of the year, this current year, that are coming out. So an author's first work that their first book came out in 2017. Last year in 2016 I read 7, so this year I wanted to read 8, and I read exactly 8. So I came in right like at the wire at the last minute, finished my 8th book, and did complete this goal. Goal 4 was I wanted to read around the world more, and what I meant by this was a very loosely defined thing. I did not have a goal to like hit books set in every country or every continent or every region of the world. It was just my goal to read more outside of the United States and European settings. A lot of what I've been reading are from those 2 locations, and I just wanted to branch out more, and I did do that. I didn't do it a ton. It's still something that I could work on, but I do consider this one to have been met. My 5th goal was to read more books that my friends are either recommending to me personally or that they just love and they talk about all the time. I just wanted to be more mindful of what things my friends are interested in and pick those books up. And so my goal of more for this goal was just to read at least 3 books. So, you know, I had a very low bar to meet, and I definitely did beat that. This is another goal that I quit counting, and I know that it was in the double digits. I definitely read several books that people recommended to me. Some of them I didn't like so much, some of them I really, really loved. So this was really interesting to like know what my friends are actually talking about, because now I've read these books that they love. And my last reading goal for the 2017 was to read all of the books that I owned at the start of the year, like all the books on my physical TBR shelf. And I had a total of 12 owned unread books. So this year I wanted to read all 12 of those books. That did not happen. 12 is such a small number. You would think that one a month, it's no big deal. But this is what my statistics were. Out of the 12, I read 3 of the books that I owned and had not read, but I actually got rid of another 5 of those books. I either tried them and DNF'd them or decided to unhaul them because I'm no longer interested. So out of the 12 books I had, 8 of them are no longer on my physical TBR shelf. So my TBR has gone from 12 to 4 that are still on my shelves from the start of the year that I haven't read. So those were all of the reading goals that I had set for myself, like specific things I wanted to accomplish this year. But if you guys remember my mid-year check-in, I also did this thing where I really just enjoy keeping lists of all of the books that I have put on my TBR videos throughout the course of the year, or said these are the new releases I really want to read, or the books that I have brought into my collection in book hauls. And so I'm going to check in with those things as well, because that is something that I really have enjoyed keeping track of ever since I've started my channel. And so if you're wanting to know, this year on my TBR videos, the things I said, I'm going to read this month, I put a total of 42 books on TBRs this year, and out of the 42, I read 38 of them, and I either DNF'd or got rid of and just am no longer interested in 2 of those, which means that by now, at the end of the year, out of the 42 total, I read all but 2 of the books that I told you guys I wanted to read. So my TBRs are a pretty accurate indication of the things that I am reading and reviewing on my channel. As for all of the new releases that I have mentioned throughout the year, didn't do as well on this one. I mentioned 51 releases of 2017 that I was really anticipated and very excited for, and out of the 51, I only read 30 of those books, and 21 of them, of course, were unread. Looking back on this list, you know, I read a little over half of the things I told you guys I was interested in. And so I still think that this list was a pretty accurate representation of where my interests lie, but I can definitely see some books on this list where I didn't read them and I'm no longer interested in them. So I think that like I just get really wrapped up in the hype or the, you know, the buzz or the reviews of the moment, and it's not a real accurate representation of I'm actually really going to read these books. As for the books that I have hauled, I am only counting books that I have physically added to my collection, to my shelves, not library books, because I don't own those and they can be gotten out of my house at any time. They're not like cluttering me up or anything. So out of the books that I have hauled this year in haul videos or unboxing videos, I have added a total of 55 books to my collection, and out of the 55, I've read 23 of those, so just under half. But I did unhaul 13 of the books that were brought into my home over this year for whatever reason. Some of the ones that I unhauled were like unsolicited ARC copies that publishers just sent to me, and I gave them away or got rid of them. I realized like, okay, well, release day has already happened. I, you know, never promised a review for these things. If I want to read this book, even though I'm still interested in it, I'll just grab it from the library at some point. So it's not that these books were bad or I just totally have no interest in them. A couple of books I gifted to friends because I knew that they were really interested in them more than I was, and then there are some books that were sent to me that I just wasn't interested in, so I did unhaul those. So that's kind of how that situation looks. So I have a total of 19 books left over that I did not read, that I still own, that have been added to my physical unread TBR shelf. So added a total of 19 books to my collection this year that I need to read. That's all I have to check in with. As for 2018 reading goals, I am not going to do reading goals for myself this year. And the reason for that is because I'm about to have my first child, and I know that this year is going to be a huge adjustment. A huge life change is taking place, and I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to set aside for reading like I currently do. And I just want to have the space to learn what my new reading habits are before I sit down and make a list of a bunch of goals I need to be keeping up with. And that's why there won't be a 2018 reading goals video going up. If I had to tell you what my goal is, it is just read. Let me know if you guys did have any reading goals for 2017 and how you did on those. And I hope you guys enjoyed just this check-in and look back at kind of how I'm doing on my channel and like the things I tell you guys I'm gonna read, am I actually reading them? Definitely want to get better about some of these things. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the comments. Bye!